Alright YouTube, I said I'd do a review of the two headlamps I just showed you. So first, this is the Polaris, the one that's rechargeable. So that's the first. Second, this one actually has a red light, and it has, I wouldn't call it a strobe, more of an SOS setting. Now, we'll pull out the other one that, like I said, is slightly cheaper. Both of these headlamps were under $30 at my local Canadian Tire. So that's the bright setting. That's the slightly dimmer setting. And this one has, again, like I wouldn't call it a strobe, more of an SOS. The only, I wouldn't say there's much difference in the lumens. I can't exactly remember what the packages said. If anyone looks at the last video, could see it. I think they're pretty comparable. I'm just going to walk in the house here real quick. See if someone was way better at camera work. They could edit this stuff out. I am not. Hey, this is an excellent use for a child's change table. So, like I said, this is the Polaris. That's the one that's got a USB charger. And I got this one. It's just the other Woods model. The one neat thing about the Woods model is, so there's the, oh, we're blind. It has two different spots. I don't know if that showed up on camera. There is actually two different bulbs for the high and the low setting, which may be a great advantage for this setup right here, for the simple fact that, you know, LEDs last a long time, but if one burns out, there is a built-in backup with that. The other thing with this one is it does have that crank down, so you can have it on your head and see how it adjusts down to what you're viewing. That one is AAA batteries, and this one was about $22. I would love to point out the fact to everyone that yes, if you looked out on my porch, it didn't throw light for a huge distance. Neither of them really did. If you've ever been in the woods, throwing out light for a huge distance doesn't really matter. Especially where I am, there's a lot of hawthorns, a lot of thick underbrush. So if I can see me and 5-10 feet in front of me, that's great. I mean, mostly I just do some camping with this stuff. These are getting set up into packs for specific reasons. Like I say, this one is going in to my camping pack, and I'll really give it a thorough beating this summer, spring, summer, and fall. But this one, like I said, the big advantage to this unit, as I see, again, it does the, you can slightly crank it down. This, I think, is much better than a way more expensive headlamp I had years ago, where it was just a little knob at the front that turned down and up, where this is the whole body. Because if worse comes to worse, if this snaps off the band, at least I still have this. The other one, if the knob where it turned snapped, the light was dead. It was done. And they were so complex, little buggers. They had a tube slide for all the batteries to go in. Nothing else I found matched with them. They had grommets for water and everything else. The grommets didn't last very long. So I've discovered that, for the most part, for me, a lot of times cheaper is better, because I'd rather buy two of them and have them last the same amount of time, if not longer, for a quarter of the price. But this one is only one lens to it. But this one also has, let me click through it without blinding us all, it also has a red light setting, which I do really like on that light. It almost makes me want to put it in my camping bag, because I do a lot of reading late out in the bush, and that's just a nice light to read by. But we'll see how they wear and tear over the next year, and we'll get back to them. But I thought you guys would enjoy taking a quick look at them. I mean, they seem pretty well constructed for the price. They were both under $30, guys, and that's Canadian. You know, so what's that in American dollars? Like $5? Anywho, oh, I say that word a lot. So, but, you know, fairly cheap, but we'll see how they last. But like I say, for the kind of conditions I put them through, guys, like 30 bucks, 25 bucks. Man, I would much prefer having 2 of these than 1, or maybe even 3 or 4 of these than 1 of these high-end headlamps that you can get. Also, neither of them weigh anything. If anyone's really interested, send me in the comments. I can actually put them each one on the scale and weigh them out. But if you're concerned about the weight of a headlamp, you've got too much other stuff on your back. Thanks, guys. I'm slowly getting in a little bit more of the prepper videos. I've had a few people say they might want to see some other stuff as opposed to the homestead, and it's also a big part of my life, so I'd love to share this with you too. Thanks, guys. Bye.